Set up perfectly between these two outstanding Chinese talents, Zhao Xintong and Wu Yize, 4-4. Zhao made that clearance in the last frame of the first user, and Zhao Xintong loved to attack, and I think we're going to see a very entertaining session. It'd be interesting though, Stephen.
Wu Yize, as he entered the arena, you can see that it means so much to him, and I just wonder if he feels like he's missed a little bit with the advantage. He's got to respond tonight. It will be interesting to see if it goes.
Well, they've had a couple of hours, so now it's about settling back down. And so first really good chance falls to his opponent. As I say, he had that 140 earlier on. He seemed...
Yeah, confidence, how he holds himself out there in the arena, but how he plays the game as well.
No.
There'll be no better way to settle. Well, he managed to control the cue ball.
With 14.
You would expect his level to improve.
Oh, what a lovely pot that is. Had to be so precise.
That's a really well played shot. About it, but every game his level just hasn't seemed to drop. To get to the other way, other than when he was 4-0 down to Trump, it's just been brilliant all tournament.
You know, with a half century in every one of them. Against two world-class players, of course. You know. Having, of course, been in prior to that, didn't get the split he was looking for. Doesn't hang about, does he? Looks confident, and he.
35.
We bang this drum a lot, and what really you need to do now in the modern game, and it's score heavy. It's as simple as that. You have to score red to middle. He's overcut it, and he's overcut it by quite some way actually.
8 behind, he made 72 to steal it. He's 56 behind here, and he's in.
Wow.
Good to begin with, but in fact it actually ended up a little awkward than you might have first thought when question. We know these. Plan. Oh, that's very good.
15.
That plant he's just made, yes, they were lined up to this right corner, but he was coming at them from quite an awkward angle.
23.
Well, there's a definite chance.
Oh, that is such a good shot.
39.
I really can't begin to say just how diff the red. Now needs a good positional shot here. It's a good line, very good line. Well, that's very good.
This goes in. There shouldn't be a stumbling block. So looks like he's poised. Could have been 6-3 up.
Well, the penultimate red. That red was superb.
53. $56.
Wow, and he's missed the brown. That great rest shot he played.
56.
Best. Oh, Wu Yize out of his seat like a greyhound. He cannot believe he's got...
Nine.
Yeah. So, and a substantial blow in the opening frame off the back of winning the last of the session.
And when you do that, that lone red often travels down the table to miss a brown off the spot. And very unexpected.
Yeah, like you say, I mean, he should, he can't miss with it, but he did.
To believe that he'd done all the hard work on that brown, he would never miss it usually.
40.
And as you say, after potting,
Finals, but of course he's won them all. And one was the World Championship, one was the UK, the other, of course, the German Masters.
Zhao Xintong, 21.
Wu Yize.
One.
well, that's a brilliant lead to the 1 point, but he should take control of the table, the others as well. Oh, dear me.
One.
Well, that is scary.
Yeah, absolutely no holding back. Just pure talent.
It's that made. And now, with that good clean strike on the red, he's absolutely poised.
Where he took John Higgins, no less, to a decider when he was playing as a wild card. And he was only 16, you know, so he was just nil. There was something special about him. And he's a pretty shrewd judge, obviously. So could he be playing up against Steve Maguire tomorrow?
20.
To him, all he has to do is just control it. Doesn't lack really in any department.
And an 8.
Can see the intensity in his eyes, the focus. It was clear to see. You could see in his eyes that it was all business tonight. I think he'd have learned a lot from those two home nations. I think he's probably starting to believe that he's ready to win a big one, and it could be this week.
44.
Yeah, he just feels like a big-time player, doesn't he? The way he plays. Seems to be growing in confidence all the time as well. So just a matter of the first frame, failing to get in tight behind it in this one.
Always looking for moments in the action, felt a big one the first frame of this final session also felt very big. It was frame ball, and that red means he's most definitely won this frame now.
Yeah, he was 4-2 under pressure. He never does, but he won't like what he's seeing here.
76.
And it's a good chance now, we've said, but he really is striking it nice so far.
83.
Chance for the ton as well, another ton.
We've had 151 in the tournament. The record was a couple of years ago, 150. He's looking for his 10th.
90.
It's been the perfect break, hasn't it? Been in complete control ever since.
95.
So it could have been a big blow had he lost that first frame of the... magnificent stuff. Quality, this young man. And he's proven it here in Nanjing. This.
To get in that previous frame, so carefree, so confident to even take it on, knowing that the cue ball would edge off the red and gone back to baulk, but he never for a second thought about playing safe. The aggressive shot, when you back yourself like he does and you can pot balls that he can. And I can guarantee he wished he'd have taken it on now.
What?
Yeah, but it's clearly not been a safety-dominated match. You know, there might be a purple patch on either side. There is time to recover,
8.
which you wouldn't necessarily get in a short.
That's a big misjudgment. That was quite a basic concern him, because that really was just a bread and butter shot. Doesn't want to gift any cheap chances away. Like the round, try and get that cue ball on the baulk cushion somewhere over that side. Caught it a little thin. Really. Because had the reds, Zhao will be welded to the back of the yellow.
Yeah, and that's where...
Earned himself the chance. Yeah, and it's in all the way.
The way that he won it, when he should have lost it. And now he has a chance to take a real... And it would also unlock the door to the Players Series as well, all those big events in the new 22-year-old.
He can't, for a second, let his guard drop. Because he's still very much a learning opportunity. He's just incredibly talented. First things first, get this frame won. That guarantees him at least the out the game. He can afford to draw every session after that.
29.
Just keep chipping away at the...
Well, every frame he wins.
36.
Chris Wakelin is the player, isn't he?
43.
But he is pretty handy with the left. Even in the big moments.
50.
He won the lead with this pink, red and colour needed. Well, he's gotten the into the cube a little here.
57.
Zhao Xintong in trouble, of course, snookered. And he left that chance to far corner, and it looks like he's going to be 3 clear.
64.
On the pink spot that he knocked in to then lay the snooker in behind the yellow. That earned him this chance. Very...
Red stays out, but the damage done.
Weak. You would never have predicted that it'd have missed the contact or deep now in this match.
Yeah, we've... Oh dear. Well,
Side though, there's reds available.
you know, 2 such great long potters.
Hours of practice on the table. You'll eventually learn the all-round game. When you look at ways in which Wu Yize could maybe, but at the minute they are going in, and that's the difference. They have been all week. Here, he scored heavy. That's what you've got to do. But all season, really, the results improve. So tough out there.
Yeah, played it well, so it just feels like the...
Yeah, and really Snooker from the World Champion if he's going to turn this one around. I think it's been quite a week, but he's got in. There's been a couple of really poor positional shots
13.
that he's...
in front against Karen Wilson, 5-4, first to 10. But again, he just didn't perform in the second session. In fact, he didn't win another frame. Lost.
You know, of course, that'll be the biggest disappointment, won't it? Because we expected him to maybe kick on. I think he'll have certainly... Well, I know he'll have been the happier of the two.
I'm sure it's a source.
Yeah, in recent years, actually, no doubt, has provided a lot of inspiration. Anna's ranked in the 80s, went on to lift the Scottish Open title, and Wu Yize looking to do the same, but it was going nicely there.
Yeah, we've not seen many errors like that from Wu Yize. Can Zhao Xintong, well, I was going to say, can he capitalise, but it's gone wrong immediately. It's on nothing here.
I'll get thin off the pink. Get the pace right. Could get right in behind that yellow. Not quite. Then would leave him a chance at a red. He would have loved to have caught it full. It's just not happening. Things just really... Find a wider line off the red to get nice on this blue. Couldn't have placed it any better with his hand. Already nicely in front in this frame. Surely now he's...
We'll never know what would happen after that. You know, he might still have won all the frames tonight, Wu Yize, but the fact is Zhao Xintong was put in the last of the morning session. Ended up missing the brown, using the rest, and, well, Wu Yize...
14.
When he got to the two finals last season, a lot of us said, you know, great players, you know, every ranking event this season won by somebody different. But he is starting to do it now, and this Zhao Xintong will have to win the last 5 frames, simple as that, after the interval.
Yeah, and I just hope for Wu Yize's sake, but stranger things have happened. He's got to stay alert.
28.
From 9-0 down in the World Qualifying last year.
Oh, Dave, I've only just got over that traumatic experience. What a waste of time that turned out to be.
But Zhao Xintong, at the moment, just isn't playing the snooker that suggests there's going to be... And again, as I said earlier, within a couple...
I suppose the line is very fine between these two players, because, and I suppose it is a fine line between trying to contain one another and when to attack and when to play safe.
Foul. Miss.
You know. And again, look, things just not going.
Zhao Xintong 1.
Much too difficult. The thing is now, he doesn't need to push the boat out at all. He's just looking really for one good scoring chance. I think from Zhao Xintong's point of view, in a strange sort of way, of course, it can happen, but it doesn't.
One.
But there again, that's where we're all going wrong. Far too negative. When you can. Really no doubt for Wu. I mean, this is just a masterclass in knocking balls in off the lampshade.
8.
To the black. Couldn't do anything there.
Wu Yize 8. 1.
Wow. That's a great red. For error. And that had to go in. That was a fantastic red from underneath this top cushion. But now he's...
Last one in this match.
Available. Oh, that's a great shot again.
14.
He was leaving the world any sort of inspiration to get going here, Zhao Xintong, and this could be it. He's managed.
21.
Now he's got a realistic chance to win the frame.
$29. $37.
Well, he's not done anything wrong here, Wu Yize. Not a nice shot by any means to play. Not a shot you would ever practice either. It was...
$44.
So red in the colour, timely and well crafted break from Zhao Xintong.
52.
Not least because he's 8-4 down in the match tournament, but he's kept it going superbly. Needs more of the same, of course.
59.
out, and it would have been the most unlikeliest century you'll ever see.
$67. $75. $81.
Well, the break...
You never are safe out there because he can just knock them in off the lampshades, as we saw in the previous frame. How he managed to win that frame in one. Wouldn't be surprised to see the players have a little nod to one another for a re-rack. That red in balk is causing problems. To bring the cue ball back to this top cushion for fear of pushing a red over a pocket could potentially be his last shot. It was, and he took the decision to attack.
Oh, now we're kind of back to this, which is where the frame began.
Do that here. He's such a confident middle pocket player.
One.
He really does make that shot look so simple. Potting balls into middle bags at pace as well.
Seven.
At the age of 15, he beat Ken Doherty as a wild card in 2012. And then a year later,
15.
have that experience as wildcards coming into these tournaments without rankings pressure and having the experience of playing top players. And we've seen so many players.
World Snooker Tour, when the draws come out for these Chinese tournaments, there's always some wildcard rounds. There's always some held over matches to wildcard because you just know they're going to be good. Of course, this week we saw the 14-year-old Wang Jingzhong had a couple of great wins. Williams, 14 years of age. He looks some prospect.
26.
Yeah, and I think sometimes you might knock things into play. And this is starting to look more promising for him, isn't it? You know, took the red. Starting to apply pressure by going on the attack.
And it really is the best way to put pressure on your opponent. Just a button. That would have been one of the greatest turnarounds we've ever seen, the way he played. And Zhao Xintong is going to need a bit of that as well. But Wu Yize has played so well in this game. You do fancy if he gets a good chance. He hasn't had a good chance yet. He's played well enough too.
45.
Does kind of feel like the shackles are off now for... But he's run out of position here.
Zhao Xintong, 50.
And not the best of safe. And it has done. That's a brilliant shot, because look at the damage he was doing.
Well, I just love going for their shots, and they get plenty.
9.
We'll need
15.
Well, this is where Wu Yize is going to be tested again, it seems. Thoughts hadn't come into his mind. So close to the winning line. But he's still in front.
Zhao Xintong, coming back.
Hoping that he pushes one towards a corner pocket. Well, he did fall into it because he's not the long red in. Be disappointed. Oh, he could. That's a great shot.
Eight.
Yeah, you are allowed to play safe, and that's what he's done.
Zhao Xintong, 8.
Bring the black into play. Cue ball back to balk. Doesn't want to cannon the brown. That couldn't have been
2.
any.
I think this would be one of his best ever victories in terms of...
10.
Well, that was... But again, so confidently just knocks in the green. A much more difficult, same mistake twice. Just made
40.
sure to get the right side this time. Black back on its own spot, but he doesn't really need to play that. He's got enough reds north of the pink that he can just continue him to take. Can he take it?
22.
And he was 4-0 down to Judd Trump. Won 6 on the spin. Took apart Barry Hawkins 6-0. That's what he's got to do, just focus on what he's doing, not try and think too much about what it means, because it's going to set up, if he's successful,
to get back up for the black. And each time the cue ball is just travelling further and further. The only way this... Yeah, and that's why he's played on that red finally on the black spot. Was looking for an angle on, easy to get back up for the black.
44.
Yeah, I'll be really pleased with how he struck him. He's taken these really well so far.
Well, a little short. Two needed.
Wize, 65.
Black. But it hasn't gone in. Now, where's it going to finish? He has looked very good for this performance.
Oh dear.
Wize, 4.
And all the rest of it. Not again. Oh, that's the end. That's the end. So